Hello everyone, we are back with phase 2 of how to get a job. Okay, I've decided that this is not a 2024 thing, alright? Well, actually, it was decided for me that this is not a 2024 thing. This is actually a thing that I'm just giving out to people and they can use it at any point from here on out, okay? The energies will maintain, so you can just use these novelty tricks and ideas to help you get a job at any point that you want from here on out. Okay, so phase 2, phase 1 was all about routine revamping. If you haven't seen that, you have to do that. You can't move on to this. Technically, you could do this if you wanted to. As long as you have a solid foundation of routines that you do that keep you grounded, keep you patient, and keep you in check mentally, then essentially you're going to be okay for this next phase, okay? But if you want to know more about what I'm talking about, routine revamping is all about looking at what you do in a day and how you can improve it to become a better version of yourself. Okay, and that's a big thing to actually getting a job, because you have to start showing the universe that you intend to get a job, okay? Or you intend to be productive. That's actually the hint you're giving the universe. So go check out that first video, okay? Now, second video, this one right here. This video is all about your sorry, let me get my things out because I've got something else on my mind that's just so before I move on, okay? So this next thing is that I'm actually going to be moving this whole series over to its own Udemy course online. That means I'm going to be creating a course, a proper course. You know that first video? That first video, I'm not sure about the editing about it, but I do know that the actual content was a lot better. This is literally just me in front of my camera again. Okay, I know you guys like that, but for those who want to be more official and you want to actually go through a course and have lectures given, and you'll get a certificate at the end, and you're going to get manuals that I'm going to provide to you, go and hop over to that course there. Okay, that is a getting how to get a job course. I don't know what I'll say, maybe beginner's guide to getting a job, something like that. Okay, but I will include in the descriptions once the course is out the links there for you. Okay, so be aware of that. Now, that's just my angels are just making me very aware now that I'm going to have to put effort in to get that out as soon as I can. So that's good for me. That's a goal for me, okay? But let's move on to this actual video here now. So this video is about financial self-reflection. This video is about what do you look at? What does your mind play with when it comes to money and finances? Is it very negative? Is it very positive? Do you worry about money a lot, or do you have a healthy relationship with money? Okay? The one thing you need to always remember is that it's always about a relationship. So you can always, regardless of what it is, you can ask yourself, do I have, or what sort of relationship do I have with, okay? If you're afraid of girls, what sort of relationship do I have with girls, okay? I notice that they scare me. I notice that. Okay, cool. Start observing yourself. You can do the same with money, and that's what we are doing in this video here, okay? So, like I said, vid 1 was all about that routine revamping. Vid 2 here is your financial self-analysis, okay? So financial reflectivity. So it's pretty much that easy. I'm not even kidding you. You just got to sit down one day. You got to enter a little bit of a mindful, zestful meditation going for yourself. Meditation is its own topic, but if you want to enter the right meditation to do this work, or the most appropriate meditation for most of us to do this work, what you're going to do is enter a mindful meditation, okay? And a mindful meditation kind of goes like this. So you sit just comfortably. You don't have to do all of this stuff. You don't have to do any hand poses. You don't have to do you don't have to be a Buddha. You don't have to do any of this. Mindful meditation, sometimes I do it when I'm traveling in a car. Sometimes I do it when I'm sitting on a plane. Sometimes I even do it on the toilet. It's that easy. All you gotta do is detach from the emotions of your thoughts. And I don't mean you stop feeling. You must always feel. But that's the trick, is you're supposed to feel your emotions of the thoughts, and that allows the emotion to move past like a wave. So if you observe and experience the thought to a certain degree, it's going to just move through. But as soon as you're stopping the thought, you can literally think like it's a cloud trying to make its way through your head, and you put a wall up and then the cloud gets stuck there, okay? That's literally what happens. So it needs your attention, but it mustn't hold your attention. So You pay it attention, and as soon as you feel it letting go its grasp, you let go of its grasp. Okay? You don't bring it back. You don't bring it right back. I have a little bit of a story of an exorcism. Oh, by the way, so I know this is crazy, right? What the hell am I going on about? So, who am I? You need to know this in order, if I continue with my crazy stories and the rest of this, talking about my angels and stuff, you need to know who I am. So I'm a psychic. I am a psychic, but I'm figuring psychic stuff out still. I'm still figuring myself out, but I'm very certain of very specific things, and I can always get angelic advice and things like that. I'm still figuring that out for myself. We'll talk about psychic stuff later on. So all of you psychic hipsters and all of that, guys, you're gonna love me, man, and I'm gonna love you right back. We're gonna have such a good time growing a little community here. But for those of you who are a little bit more rightists than leftists, okay, those of you who are just like, what the fuck is this guy going on about? Where's the jobs? This is it, okay? Sit back and start asking yourself these questions. Number one, am I being honest with myself in my self-reflections? That is you can't do anything else if you don't answer that question, and you don't answer that question honestly. Because if you answer this question dishonestly, you are literally saying no to the question, because you're being dishonest about being honest. Do you understand? So you need to really think about it. Am I being honest with myself? That's all you need to ask. Okay, am I being honest with myself? That will then lead into what we call honest self-reflection, which is, I mean, okay, who fucking cares? It's terminology, all right? But honest self-reflection is just about sitting back and entering that mindful state where you can see a thought, a dark thought, a terrifying thought. Some people talk about, and I don't like to go into these thoughts because they're very dark and terrifying thoughts, but some people talk about thoughts of doing horrible, atrocious things, and all they need to do, the reason that thought keeps coming back and forces its way in to their meditation, is because that's how they actually learn. They then learn with this thought. If they let that thought go, then they're free, and the thought doesn't keep coming back and pinpointing itself there. So that's the whole idea, is if you pay something attention, it'll get the hint that you paid the attention. If you then get the choice to decide if you want to give it more attention or not. Your energy is your attention, or your attention is your energy. Okay. All right. So that's the first question. Am I being honest with myself? Am I saying the right things to myself? Is the next one. Okay. Question number 2. Am I saying the right things to myself? Cool. So if we use a little bit of an example, yeah, we can use me. I don't mind. So I just need to think about my own experience. But let's just go easy like this. Okay, so you start with the routine revamping, you fix those up. Okay, I did that. I talked about that in that first episode. Then the second was this financial self-reflection. Once I started, it gets easier once you start making money again, because then you can start seeing where all the worries come up. So the routine revamping will help you. It'll help you get the job initially. Some of you will need these next few phases. Most of you will already have a job. If you follow those and then you work on it for a month and you be diligent, a month is more than enough. Okay, but just remember 3. Okay, actually this might be wrong now. It used to be 3 to 6 months was the manifestation period, so you had to practice patience. But now in 2024, where everything's reversed and the energy has literally done this, I literally think you can manifest overnight. I mean, how quickly did I start getting all of my manifestations? Literally 1 Jan, and I got like 3 of my year's manifestations out of the way. So it blew my mind. But that's why I'm talking about this, because it's powerful stuff for you to know. But let's backtrack. So we start there then. I start saying, okay, cool. I'm reflecting on my financial situation. What is my relationship with money? Okay, let's just pull some examples. Okay, maybe I'm worried that life will never stop hitting me with financial debts or financial issues. Maybe I'm worried that life just keeps throwing issue after issue, and every time I think I've saved money, it just goes down again. Okay, that's a big one. That for me right now, that's actually exactly what I am going through right now. I didn't really realize it. I thought I had healed more than this, but no, that's some healing for me to do. And that's perfect because you can physically see me doing it on the screen here. I mean, you can probably, for those of you who are a little bit more psychic and aware, you can probably even see the energy and the light that hit and lit me up from inside. My root chakra, where the money stuff sits, but also sacral, because that's where it flows in. So those two chakras, and then the solar plexus for your power taking you back, and you see that light up. Some of you might even, if depending how psychic, maybe seen some orange glow around it, which would be pretty cool. I'm not going to start by saying leave comments and stuff, okay? We're nowhere near a big enough audience for that, but it would be cool if you did experience something to leave that in the comments. Okay? Regardless, let's get back to the point at hand. So that was my wound, right? So I've opened up a wound in the relationship. I can now see, okay, how do I repair that wound in that relationship, okay? So I've identified the issue. Now I mustn't harp on the issue. You know, like for example, if you're having a fight, you don't want to prolong the fight you want to leave until you're of sound mind to deal with again. But once you're of sound mind, it's the appropriate thing to deal with it as quick as possible, because then you can just focus on the solution instead of letting the problem linger very much, okay? So that's what you're doing here, is you identify the wound. Now you need to look at the solution. Don't focus on the wound. Just like, oh God, yes, I know the universe keeps doing this. What about that experience? What about that experience? That's then question number 2. What am I saying to myself, okay? You're then saying, so number 1, I've identified a belief. And in this case, it is a very self-limiting belief, right? So the self-limiting belief is that the universe is just going to keep hitting me with bad stuff, and I'm never going to be able to advance financially. And the negative side that I used to go to, this is where I can see the wounding is dissipating, because the negative side that I used to go to would be like, what about that experience? What about that experience? I've had a lot of hard experiences. If you check out my previous content of me living my life, my vlogs and stuff like that, man, and TikTok especially, you guys are gonna be like, I don't even know how this dude made it through the months sometimes, and that's just the way it was. But then I identified that. I was like, oh, but those thoughts make me feel bad. What thoughts would make me feel good? And I literally just shifted my attention like that. So it was like, oh, I'm worried, I'm so worried. Wait, what about if I imagine myself having more money? That's literally what I did. That's literally it, okay? I started focusing on something more fun and beneficial with my personal relationship with money, okay? Another one would be, for a lot of you, is that money, you have to work so hard for money, and then it can just leave like this. You know, that's another one for me personally now as well. As I spent months and months saving up. So my issue right now, my example is that I've built up an emergency fund for myself, and I built it up to a point where I was finally reaching the point where I was actually going to become financially free. And then what happened was my my little beautiful doggo dog, tore her ACL. She actually obliterated this thing. The vet literally said a piece like this long was just not there. So that's going to cost my entire emergency fund. And unfortunately, that's the way it is. So this was me thinking, you know, and yet again, even in 2024 Jan, I was thinking, or it's a test. Because the universe was actually trying to see if I would think negative things. But here's what I keep doing instead. I don't even play with those thoughts anymore. It used to be a battle, but now it's easy. And it'll get easy for you as well. Now it's easy for me to just stop that straight away and say, oh wait, but I'm so grateful that I was smart enough to save an emergency fund. I'm so grateful that I have enough, the exact right amount in my emergency fund to be able to pay for this. I'm so grateful that all these amazing things worked out in a capacity that's not actually going to be to my detriment at all. All it means is that, okay, I just gotta restart, start putting into my emergency fund again. That's okay. You want to know why? Because I was also then smart enough to go a step further and start a different savings account and have more come in from other sources of income. What did I start doing? This is what I started doing. I started going into my financial beliefs. I started looking at my financial beliefs. Okay, why? Because my financial beliefs previously were the universe has it out for me. As soon as I identify all this positive stuff and I realize that none of this is going to impact me, because even if I take the money out of that fund, I've got another fund to back me up. There's no loss anywhere. Essentially, there's no loss anywhere. You know, that was money saved for this specific purpose. It worked out perfectly, and that makes me then have the positive self-belief of the universe always has my back. The universe always provides for me. And you want to know what that reminds me of? All those negative months and years of not having money and me complaining, but me realizing that every single time I complained and every single month I worried, I always somehow miraculously made it through the month and made it to the next month. And then I start picturing all the actually what comes to mind is I just get a flood, an impactful flood of all the memories and images of all the little odd jobs the universe has provided me, all the businesses it's set up for me without me doing anything, just so it could make sure, regardless of all the pain that human beings have caused me financially, the universe made sure that I was always okay. Because that was the issue. The systems, the humanity systems, the species, our species systems, they frickin' suck. And beyond that, because the systems suck, individual human beings get so wounded financially, especially in South Africa, that all you ever have is greed and betrayal. And unfortunately, those two traits are awful traits, and it's hard to deal with those things, okay? It's very hard to deal when you're having to work yourself up in an economy that is pushing you down because they want more, which means they think that you should have less. And that sucks. It really sucks. But the amazing thing is that despite me working so hard and always being hit down, the fact is the universe always raised me right back up again. Do you see the power of the universe? So the universe is not a negative force. The universe is just your energy around you. You might as well be in a simulation and making things happen around you, okay? You can think of it from now on if you want. You can think of life as a simulation, a giant video game. It's going to help you choose decisions better. Why? Because you're going to start thinking about, okay, if this was a video game, what would be the most productive thing for me to do? Okay, cool, let's do that. If this was a video game, where would this goal get me? And then you will see further, and you'll go further, and just like that, okay? All of this that I've talked about now in this little spiel here for you, this is all about your beliefs around money and your relationship towards and with money, okay? These are the things that you need to be looking at next if you're going to evolve. So, if you want some tangible, practical advice, or just straight up if you want some instruction, go and do this. Number one, sit down and enter mindful meditation. This is how you do it. You sit down, you lie down, as long as you're not gonna fall asleep. Okay, so, I don't know, this is a little cringy. Some people call it falling awake, but you know what I mean. Essentially what it is you're going to just enter a complete state of calm where you're very able to observe. Everybody thinks that mindfulness meditation is about being in your head. But no, mindfulness meditation is about owning your attention. It's about owning and honing your attention, okay? Those two words very particularly. So what you do is you put your attention wherever you want it, and you focus your attention there. You can choose if you want to close your eyes and you want to listen to something. Listen to it. Pay attention to it. If you get distracted, pay attention to what's distracted you. Then pay attention back to your noise when you're ready to bring your attention back. If you have a thought, it's the same thing. Pay attention to the thought, then let it go and pay attention back to the noise. if you're not an audio person, but you're a visual person, you can do this with your mind's eye or with your real eyes. Okay? You really don't have to have such a big difference. Your mind's eye might as well literally be a third eye on your face. Okay? If you see anything in your mind's eye, you're seeing it. You're seeing it. You're experiencing it. Okay? Same thing with this. It's the exact same thing. Some of you are going to call me cuckoo, but it literally is. Your imagination is another reality that you're seeing. Okay? You're experiencing it there. That's why you can then see which choices you should make. Because you can use your imagination to foresee the future, the potential future. The thing is that we don't align ourselves up with those futures very often because there's millions of them. But the fact is we can see the futures that it could pertain to us regarding our choices, okay? And then we know which way we should go. But irrelevant of that, okay? Irrelevant of that, let's go to our third eye. Let's pretend that we're imaginative, okay? So we're going to close our eyes again. Close our eyes. You're going to do some breathing, all right? Audio doesn't need breathing so much. Visual, especially the third eye, you need to start being more present. Otherwise, you can't experience this. Your monkey mind, which I actually love the term. I think we are monkeys, and I think it's awesome, but don't get offended if I say it's the monkey mind, okay? But our little AP brains, our little beautiful human brains, they're computers, and sometimes they just hinder us because they don't know what's going on, okay? So with your mind's eye, as soon as you start doing something with your mind, and there's going to be a lot of doubt playing up, it's a very good idea to start breathing. Okay, so you start by breathing. So you sit down in whatever capacity you want, dude. If you want to lie like this, if you want to recline, man, you put your feet up on the... Do that. Just don't fall asleep. That's the whole point, okay? So you lie back, or you sit up, or whatever. And now, you start breathing, okay? So... And every time you breathe in, you will probably experience a thought. Every time you breathe out, you will have the choice to focus on your breath and let go of that thought. It's irrelevant what the thought was, okay? In this 3 breaths here, I think I had 10 thoughts. Okay, maybe not really 10 thoughts, but I had a lot of thoughts that I can't even tell you what they are because they just flowed through me so easily, okay? But I could tell you what one is. One was that I was a little bit focused on the camera, okay? So that's the power of the third eye, is that you can take your focus to whatever you want. Your eyes don't have to be open for you to see. I can see you pure as day. I can see my desk exactly how it is. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm still a little bit afraid because that's the thing of the third eye, is that your doubt, the monkey mind plays up. But no, you know, like... Okay, I'm afraid to use my space because I'm still not very... when it comes to my current reality with my third eye, I struggle with that one. But I have crazy stories with my third eye. But that's what you do, okay? So with your mind's eye, you're not trying to focus on image. You're just focused on your breath. And the breathing will present images in your mind for you. Because if you're a visual person, that's how your third eye is going to work for you, okay? And then there's those who just like to stare. So if you like to stare, pick something to stare at and decide what you want to do with it. So in terms of financial reflection, I don't know if this is the best option. What you could do with this one is put something that bothers you in front of you and assess why it bothers you. So if you see something like a meme that says rich people get rich, poor people get poor, and then it's, you know, awful pictures maybe, and that triggers you, then that's something you can sit and ponder and contemplate as you're staring at that picture. That's also a sense of mindfulness meditation. Why? Because your attention is on something that you want to reach an element of understanding with it, okay? And how do you do that? You pay attention to it. So that's all you're doing. Just pay attention to where you're paying your attention, okay? Pay attention to where you pay your attention. All right. Um, so those are the things that you need to do. That's the meditation. The next thing is in your meditation. Once you've done the meditation, or in the meditation, whenever you decide you want to do this, some of you might be very beneficial to go and run a bath. I don't know why I felt like saying this, but okay, run a bath. Especially Epsom salts is great for this. I don't know this. Okay, but so do that. Okay, bath. Swimming, you swim and it'll flow for you. Water, all right, water. Drinking water, just drinking water. Okay, water. So use water to help you with this. It's gonna keep you more honest, is what they're telling me, at least. Okay, so, but I know the powers of water. I'm just shocked that it will keep you honest, but that's awesome. So water will help you be more honest with yourself, okay? So you're gonna drink a glass of water, lie in the bath, do whatever you need to do, and you're then going to ask these questions. The questions that I already asked, which I hope I remember them correctly. So number one, the ultimate one that I would ask first is, what is my relationship with money? What is my relationship with money? Okay, that will just give you a broad understanding. Is it good? Is it bad? And then you can break it down. Okay, positive or negative? Well, let's see. Okay, am I worried a lot, or am I happy with my money? Okay, cool. Do I feel financially well off, or do I feel financially strained? Okay, cool. Do I feel like I'm in a society that works with me, or a society where I'm a cog in a machine? Okay, then you can start breaking down your relationship. Okay, so that one question already it already amounted maybe to 10 other questions. Okay, many. You could go hundreds, depending how much healing you have to do, of course. But no, hundreds might be a little extreme, but definitely tens, you could get a lot of that done. Okay. And then you go through that. And as soon as you do that, you already start opening the wounds so that you can start healing them naturally and instinctively. You will start healing these things. But the way you help the healing process is by acting accordingly. So if you decide that, for example, if we go back to my example where I decided that I was happy that I had all of this support, this universal support, regardless of what's going on and what life presents to me. I was grateful that I had the universe having my back. And what did I do as a result? My actions were literally speaking out and thanking God that I had this money. Those were my actions. That is the power of a human being, is that you decide your action, and that creates the trait inside your personality. Okay, if you act on an action enough times, you become that thing. If you act in a very honorable way when it matters, if you do that 3 to 5 times, you'll become an honorable person. It's going to be easier for you to know right from wrong. It's going to be easier for you to understand what you need to do versus what you want to do. And that's how your traits work. That's how your evolution works as well. You don't have to hold on to your negative traits. You let them go. You evolve up. You ascertain positive traits, okay, and you build yourself up like that. All right. Then the next question I would ask, if I were you, is, do I have any self-limiting beliefs regarding money? And that will then lead you to the questions that I would want to finish off with, which is, do I worry about money a lot? And if the answer is yes, then it's, why do I worry about money a lot? Okay. And then you might have some memories come up. A lot of you actually might even have suppressed memories or suppressed damage. It doesn't have to be from this lifetime, but it can be something that you're dealing with. A lot of people freak out because they see other people and they're like, oh, I don't know what's going on there. It's like I'm having a dream, but in reality. And it's not. The chances are very high that that's you experiencing a past life memory that is there for you to deal with. Now, here's where some people get it wrong. Some people say, I don't believe in past life memories. I'm just going to push that thought away. Meanwhile, if they had paid attention to that thought, that regardless, it doesn't matter if you think that's real or not. Just the same way that you can watch a TV show and you can learn a life lesson that way, you can do the same here. So you see this thought, regardless of if you think it's you in a past life or if it's just a random thought of some random person, watch the thought play out. Once it's played out, you will learn something at the end of the thought. It'll make you feel something. If you pay attention to that feeling, it'll unlock the trigger action. and you will start healing whatever it is that you needed to heal. Okay, so those questions are the most important and essential questions to ask. I know that I just threw them in here, all right, but I'm delivering as it feels exactly right for me to deliver. All right. Then the fourth thing I wrote here, just to finish off, is that the realm tool. Oh, the realm tool for discovering the realm of attention. Okay, so let's go over this process. I'm not going to give the full tool away. I think I'll do that on the course. I think the course we can give the tool away because it'll help people. But right now the tool is a big thing. Okay, it's a big thing. It's literally its own video. Its own lecture. But what I do want to just leave you with here is that the realm tool is, number one, you're going to identify where the issue is. Now, you already have done that because you're researching finances. You're researching how to get a job. You realize that the issue is money, right? It's not about if you have a job. It's not about if you can sustain a job. It's about having money. What's the issue with money? Okay. Once you do that, you can then start seeing, oh, okay, well, I don't have a job. Okay. So this issue is, okay, cool. I don't have money. I don't have money because, well, I don't have a job. Cool. That's a problem. What's the solution? Find a job. Okay. How do I do that? You're doing that now. A lot of people go about it the wrong way. They just send a couple CVs and they just sit on their asses. Okay. Send CVs, send hundreds of thousands of CVs if you need to. And in amongst that, do the right thing and learn more about how to get a job. Welcome everybody to those who are doing that. Welcome everybody to everyone who wants to evolve. I'm very proud of you for being here today. Okay, I went through this process myself of not having a job, being unevolved essentially, and then starting to evolve myself. Okay, and you guys are all doing that now as well. So good job, well done, and congratulations. The next thing you need to know about the realm tool is that it's going to, in fact, no, I'm being shut off now. So this is where the video is going to end, okay? If there's anything more about the realm tool, like I said, it'll be in the course, or it'll be its own lecture or own video. I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, okay? Especially because that was given to me. My issue, my uncertainty with this is that was given to me by someone who, she didn't give it to me in confidence, but she did say when she gave it to me that that's her formula that has helped her sell hundreds of thousands. I mean, make 100,000 or something like that. Something crazy. You know, it's really valuable is what she said. And because I'm uncertain if it's confidence, I think I would have to ask her first. So I would rather do that before using this realm tool on you. She's a modern psychic, modern day new age psychic. So she's just which cool stuff. She helped me learn all of my stuff and get to this point where I can now discover my own psychic stuff. And this was one of her tools, and it worked for me in 1 week. I went 1 week, I had no money. I was eating cans of food, you know, newspaper as toilet paper because I found newspaper in the garage, things like that. And then I ended up going back to her. I said, oh, please, can I just... Actually, no, she actually contacted me and she said, yo, man, we need to get you back on track. So let's do that. And then we did that. Dude, 1 week. 1 week I went from being a sloppy Joe to being back to who I was again. And then I could build on that. Okay, and that was my routine revamping that 1 week. That's why I'm telling you guys, it doesn't have to be 3 to 6 months. You can have this now, especially in 2024. But if you're not having it now, just be patient, okay? But you can have it now. Broaden your horizons. Don't focus on if you're just in IT. Don't be like, oh, I must just focus on IT. Okay, that's another wound that you can find within yourself. That's not necessarily finances. That's more self-reflection. So that's a self-limiting belief of, I only believe that I can make money through this skill. I only believe that I add value through this skill. So there's really a lot that you need to think about when you're healing wounds. And that's why it takes years and years. For me, it's been 5 years. 5 years that I have been fighting these demons. And I'm now getting over it. And I'm now giving you the tools to get over it all as well. Okay. So join me on this. Thank you for joining me for this video part 2. a lot more formal, a lot more my style, and definitely a lot more your style as well, if I'm noticing those views. Okay, I'll save that fancy stuff for the Udemy courses, all right? And for those of you who do want to check that out, like I said, links in the description, all of that stuff. I do have a drone course if you want to check it out. I also got a drone channel. I've got a drone channel where I teach drones as well. If you want to go check that out. If you like the teaching style, this is how I teach, okay? Whether it's drones or spirituality, it doesn't matter, all right? Okay, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Wait. Oh, no, this isn't a... okay, so I also make gaming channel content. And this was me just entering my end of gaming channel video little thingy thing there. All right, but no, I suppose I can use it here as well. So I will see you guys in the next episode, episode 3. Episode 3 is about our financial literacy. So once we start doing financial self-analysis, we then need to identify, we then need to start using our mind. Okay, so the tool was actually going to help you see that a lot of your issues are going to be mental issues. So you've got mental, spiritual, physical, a whole bunch, right? Physical will manifest from the spiritual and mental. So what you got to change, mental and or spiritual, right? Have more faith would be your spiritual. How do you do that? Pray more, ask God more, thank God more, give gratitude more. And then the other so on and so forth. Okay, so that's what vid 3 is going to be, is our financial literacy, and our how we're going to use this realm tool to identify ourselves to be able to use financial literacy properly, and if we even need to, if it is a mind thing or if it's just completely a faith thing. Okay, a lot of people have all the skills they need and they really think they should be having money, but they're not having money, and that's where faith comes into play. Okay. And it's really just about gratitude. You don't have to believe. Actually, you do. You have to believe. You can't get anywhere if you don't have some sort of belief around your energy. But eventually you can get to a point where the belief falls away and it just becomes utter faith. You just trust. It's just trust at that point. And you just trust everything's okay. Okay, but like I said, we'll talk about these things more in vid 3, episode 3, so go check that one out. Then the next one that I've written here, at least, I'm not sure if that's the way it will go, but what I've got here is then how I use these tools so we could make it a bit more practical and tangible. I could show you an actual step-by-step example of when I wed and I had no money up to having money. Okay, and then vid 5 is just ending things off and an overall explanation, so you can all understand what's going on. Okay, cool guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. If you did, guys, please go ahead, like and subscribe. It means a lot. And I will see you in the next video, episode 3. Okay, this next one is so important, but we'll talk about it when it comes up. It's just playing on my mind now, okay? But anyways, let me go, and I'll love you and leave you. And